green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot. You'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred. Meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Let's go. Let's do it. Ready? You ready?
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Check 99. Check 99.
Check 26. Check 26. Hey, stop. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. Mosley. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
I got you.
Open man is QT, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Minnesota.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards there, first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
First down, Winston. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Winston. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now here's Ross. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Bucks will get ready to go on offense. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Off of play action, it's Watson. Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big pickup of 38. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Airing this one out for Evans. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. In for the sack that time. Say hello to Brandon Williams.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone. For a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
26, Mike. 26, Mike.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Ross on the return. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And yet again, he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
This is it. You're 18. You're not ready. You're not ready. 59.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Barrett. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Reset. 19. Pick
it up, guys. Pick it up. Chance.
24. 9 and go.
On 1st down, Watson. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Here's Barber. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. One more time with Barber, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Hard throw, incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Jameis to throw it. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Check 27. Eyes on 27. You got nothing to run. You got nothing. 26 Mike. 26 Mike. Ricky, let's go.
Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Ryan Allen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Then if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
19. Here
we go.
Check.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Tampa Bay.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st, they go right back to Howard. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Mike, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check 3.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. John Ross with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead grows to 10-0. After the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Even. 4th down. Even. 31's the mic.
To throw, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. The Vikings on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. They're able to locate Wilson. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Vikings 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Mosley. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Check. Let's convert.
On 2nd down and 4, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On 3rd down, Mosley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Escapes the defender. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Making the stop there, Daniil Hunter.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one maybe was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Hey, check. Hey, let's get a conversion. Slay. 26 Mike.
Here's Winston. And that is incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 31, Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there.
Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check. Crunch.
Throwing again is Watson.
I'm going back to you.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
You're set. You're 18. Watch the flood. At 25. Watch the flood. Check safety. Hey, Mike 50. 25. Mike 50.
Out of the gun, Watson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the 2nd half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check three.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Winston now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by his former FSU teammate Jalen Ramsey. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. After the interception, here's Watson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the Bucks going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Watson now to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Get him, boys. Yeah, that's how we do it, D.
On the play. Brings up 3rd down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. The final shot before the break. Watson setting up the screen here. It's Barber. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Bucks with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
This is Howard on 2nd down. 2 yards, good enough for a first. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Check 3, check 3, check 3.
24.
Check 43. Check the backer, check the backer.
Okay, 31.
Now Howard. And he's got some space here. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jordan Howard, his first touchdown on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. but I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. The second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ready? White 25.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Winston. And Braith, the tight end's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Now a give, right side. Mosley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a second and 14.
Mike 50. Yeah. You don't want none. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's go.
Now Winston. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucks 17-yard line.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it. Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Check. Lucky. Wait.
They'll keep it on the ground. Mosley. 7 yards there and a first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score, as his guys are back within a single score.
Trying to make a comeback often appears daunting, but the only way to get there, start small, score, and worry about getting the next one after that.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that slices the lead down to 17-10. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bucks offense set to begin their next possession. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And that takes us from second to third down.
Brings up third down and 7.
Who's that? 19! He can't hang. He's not going to get me. 59!
Watson looks to throw again. That's caught by Howard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 26.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
At the 17-yard line.
What's up, 19? I got him. Check! 55!
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike, get
He finds his target. It's Evans. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on second and 6. From the gun, here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Aaron Donald in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
He's crossing. He's checking crack. Check 4.
Operating from the gun, Watson. Open is Swaim, the tight end. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Jordan Howard with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, Drew Kaiser to boot it away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. Give them 32 on the play.
It's a gain of 32. And the Vikings
trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Here we go. Here we go.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Mosley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Ready. White 25.
They'll keep it on the ground. Mosley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
And it's 3rd down.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. To throw is Winston. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Flip.
Winston to throw for it on 4th. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. Where Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage, they've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Bucks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7.
Mike 51. Here I come.
Tight dog.
Check 52.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He's got Evans. That's good for a Buccaneer first to pick up of 12 yards. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
We're set. Great team.
Mike 50, huh? Hey, let's get that ball, dude. Let's get that ball right here.
Here's Watson throwing again, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Here we go. Shift. Alert 3.
Throwing on third down. Watson flush to his right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 13-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two.
And, Jameis intercepted a third time. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defensive coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. After the run, Watson going to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Watson now on third down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Check. 31's the mic. I need some therapy after this. 31's the mic.
On third down, Winston. Caught by Wilson. And they're going to get him down shy of the first at about the 13-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Ryan Allen now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
The Bucks take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Kill. 2 points down. He's coming.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Going deep downfield for Ross. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there. Hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Jameis to throw it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They run with Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. They'll run with Barber. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
At their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. On first down, Howard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. It doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw